What up, you guys? Welcome back to Feral Publications YouTube channel. This channel talk about zines and DIY publishing. And I have something that happened recently that was really cool. I got to watch a screener for a movie that was just made on October 2022. The movie is being released on Blu-ray on Walmart, and it should be streaming on Tubi by the time this video is up. And I just want to talk about it. So that movie is A Night of the Undead. And the directors for this movie were Kenny Scott Guthrie and Jake C. Young. The writer is the one that I got in touch with, Tyler Accion. And Tyler is the one that gave me the screener to peep it out and just give my thoughts on it. The production companies behind this film were Desiru Productions and MTS Pictures. There's a lot of things that I liked about this movie. Predominantly, it was the writing. I thought that the premise was very strong. It's kind of the premise that I like in zombie movies, which zombie movies for me tend to revolve more around the people and how they function and relate to what's occurring to them. That was kind of the premise of this film. And then it was a chamber film, which is kind of the things you expect to find in like an independently made film, an independent like film house. It's a chamber film, but the zombie genre lends itself so well to a chamber film. It basically was the story revolves around four characters that come in touch with one zombie and ultimately how it trickles through them as a group. I definitely enjoyed it. I like that they tied it to the classic Night of the Living Dead film as a premise, and the way they used and basically interwove it with this idea that it's a myth that may have occurred, may have not. And the way the story goes is basically these podcasters, social media influencers, YouTubers, and all that, trying to get content, but in doing so, kind of coming across this actual phenomenon of zombies. And the way they interwove different social media posts and all that, I thought it was a very clever way of giving a lot of information to the viewer, but not necessarily stopping to do a 20-30 minute expo dump on them throughout the film. It was kind of like the first 5-7 minutes, you had this expo dump of like different social media clips that kind of let you know what was going on. And that was done very, very well. There were only 4 cast, 4 crew, main 4 cast members, right? There was other little bystanders and things like that, but predominantly the movie had just 4 main characters. And the production time was like 3 months. Like, there's a lot of things about this movie, and I think this movie, for any independent filmmaker, you should watch this. There's a lot of things that they were doing in this film that were good, were clever, and one of those ideas of like, if the premise and story is good enough, you'll forgive other things that may not be up to par. Especially like when you put it into context that this movie was made for like under $2,000, shot on a Nikon D3200. Like, all these things are accessible. And so it's fun to watch a movie that was made independently with like resources that just about anyone has or can attain. Just for that reason alone, I think it's worth watching. Never mind that, like I said, it does play into a lot of things that I thought they did well. There were things that I thought they didn't do well. And sometimes it's hard for people to really edit their own films. And this film was edited by the directors. And I feel like there's certain scenes in there that I personally would have chopped. I mean, the runtime was 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's not that long, but they could have easily got it down to a straight hour. That would have been a little stronger, more concise, in my opinion. There was 3 opening sequences. You could have easily cut 2 of them out. I really liked the social media intro, which is how they started the film. So I know they also agreed that that was probably their strongest opening. But then they also had another one in a hospital, in a lab, which, yes, it ties to the ending, but I feel like they could have cut that out. And then they had another opening montage of different zombie kind of pictures and things like that. That also could have been cut out. The acting, sometimes it popped. The characters were alive. I loved like a lot of the funny COVID-19 kind of snapbacks and all that. I definitely enjoyed that. I thought that was, they probably could have built off that a little more, made more of a correlation between like, this COVID-19 virus as well as like the zombie virus. Because it's true, like, the idea that no one kind of made a movie about how like this COVID-19 thing became this zombie phenomenon, it surprises me because I feel like it lends itself just right. This worldwide pandemic could easily be kind of like the beginning of like a zombie flip. So I definitely like that. And like I said, the acting sometimes was real strong, but sometimes the acting fell flat. And I don't know if that's because of production time. For like a $2,000 budget film, I'm sure these actors didn't have endless amount of times to work on this. And so it was almost like a run and gun kind of shooting. But like for all those things that I just mentioned, for the quality of film that you have, hella well done, man. And it's one of those things of like, if you could do this with 2000, imagine this production house had what the average movie cost. It'd probably be killer. Who do I recommend this for? For people that like making films, like dissecting what an independent film can be and the way you can make it, absolutely watch this film. And as well, beyond that, for people that like the zombie genre, this is a fun movie. A lot of the callbacks to A Night of the Living Dead, George Romero's film, real fun. I did talk to the writer and I explained to him it easily could have been a standalone film. It could have been its own. But the way he tied into it, I think it worked very well. And it was one of those things that if you're a fan of George Romero's A Night of the Living Dead, you're definitely going to enjoy this film. So that's my 2 cents on that film. Definitely go check it out. They have pre-orders once again on Walmart. Should be streaming on Tubi. Not too sure about what the bonus features are on the Blu-ray, but I'm hoping that there's some behind the scenes and how they made it. Because like I said, that for me is probably one of the more interesting aspects of it. Like for all the limitations that they had on this project, what they were able to get out, it's amazing. It's a testament to like, independent filmmaking and just, the process of creation and creating even with limits. So definitely enjoyed this film, man. Like I said, links will be in the show notes for the Walmart Blu-ray. So that's all I got for you guys today, man. Just this quick film review, A Night of the Undead. Peep it out if you guys get the chance. Once again, should be streaming on Tubi. But all right, you guys, as always, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Lates.